Good evening, everybody. I'd like to thank you on behalf of Merseyside Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament for this opportunity to be part of this peace vigil in this amazing building under this wonderful work of art. We ask ourselves, what is peace? Is it a concept, a symbol, a dove? What is peace in the midst of strife, in the midst of war, all kinds of war, of guns, of divisions, of scorn, of lovelessness? Peace comes when we transform our words, our concepts, our symbols, our doves, into a life of peace lived in the Prince of Peace. The second commandment is, you should love your neighbour as yourself. So how can we practice this, yet be willing to build and threaten to use weapons of mass destruction? When people see us with our peace badges, they call them peace badges, they're actually CND badges, and they say, oh, I didn't know you were still going. Well, yes, we are still going, and we are as strong as ever. We were established in 1957 as a protest against the United Kingdom joining the USA and Russia in the nuclear arms race. Since then, Britain has been prepared to use these missiles at a moment's notice. Due to good luck or providence, this has not happened, although we have been and still are very close to nuclear war. With the nuclear clock standing at 2 minutes to midnight, it is as close as it was during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. And so I know that some of us are old enough to actually remember that. There has also been many near misses with accidents, and I recommend a film to you called The Man Who Saved the World, the real-life story of a Russian lieutenant who refused to press the nuclear button and launch Russian missiles, while his systems erroneously told him he was under a nuclear attack from America. If he had followed these orders, we would not be here today. CND works closely with many anti-nuclear and peace groups in the UK and globally. In Liverpool, we work with Pax Christi, Christian CND, Campaign Against the Arms Trade and Stop the War, to name a few. Nuclear weapons don't come cheap. To replace our existing system will cost £205 billion. This is totally immoral. This money should be spent on the NHS, social care, education, housing, overseas development. The list is endless. In 1953, President Eisenhower said that every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired is in the final sense a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, and those who are cold and not clothed. Where have we heard that before? There are now 9 nuclear powers in the world today, and this equates to over 13,000 warheads, each one thousands of times more powerful than the ones that were dropped on Japan in 1945. We cannot imagine the horror of such weapons. Those who do are the Hibakusha. They are the atom bomb survivors from Hiroshima and Nagasaki who travel the world as witnesses to the horrors they experienced in the hope that it will never happen again. 3 years ago, we had the privilege to welcome two Hibakusha to Liverpool, where they visited a local school and spoke at public meetings. Everyone should hear their stories. The big worry for them is that soon there will be no survivors left to tell first-hand experience of the devastation of a nuclear bombing. CND and other nuclear groups globally, as well as all religious groups echo their plea to ban such weapons. And yet we can't be despondent, because there is hope. Because on the 21st of January this year, the Treaty for the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons was ratified at the United Nations, signed by 122 countries. This makes nuclear weapons illegal under international law. Not one of the nuclear powers have signed, but pressure is being put on them through their local communities all around the world. We are pressing. There's a few of us here from over in the world. We are pressing our local communities to stand up and say, we do not want to live in a country that is breaking international law on these weapons, and we want our country to actually sign this treaty. In October in Liverpool, there's one other thing I should say. In the UK, the latest poll actually said that 70% of the people in the UK want their government to sign this treaty. In October in Liverpool is playing host to an international arms fair. This does not in any way reflect the ethics of our city. We have to make a stand and prevent this from going ahead. And that is why I'm going to read the following, which is from a book called Timeless Prayers for Peace. And it was written by Rabbi John Rayner. And it says, "It is not enough to pray for peace. It is not enough to pray for peace. We have to work for it, to challenge those who foster conflict and refute their propaganda, to ascertain and make known the truth, both when it confirms and when it runs counter to conventional views, to denounce injustice, not only when it is committed against us, but also when it is committed against others, to defend human rights, not only our own, but also theirs, to insist that peace requires sacrifice of pride or wealth or territory, to practice and to promote the way of moderation, compromise and reconciliation, and to build bridges of respect and understanding, trust and friendship across the chasms that divide humanity. And I'm sure that includes all the issues that we're actually going to talk about today. Every year on the 6th of August, Merseyside CND lays a wreath in the Peace Garden in St John's Gardens to remember the victims of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And we end it with a very short peace prayer, which is, "Lead me from death to life, from despair to hope, from hate to love, from fear to trust, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, our world, our universe." Amen.